Hello, everybody. Welcome into sunny and beautiful Acrisure Stadium here in Pittsburgh. The Steelers at 15-2 playing host to the 11-6 Ravens. Our 2 versus 7 matchup in the AFC. Hopefully, is going to be a better game than, and I would expect to be a better game than the one we just witnessed, where Packers pretty much thoroughly dominated after the quarter break. So hopefully a good game, classic uh, AFC rivalry, a lot of historic playoff matchups, and maybe another chapter in this playoff story between the Ravens and the Steelers. Let's get right into it. The Ravens are going to start with the football here, so we'll get to see Lamar Jackson out on the field first. Getting Odell back, a big addition for them as part of the major cavalry of injured people coming back. The only guy they're missing is going to be Marlon Humphrey as they're getting Zadarius Smith back, and they're getting Zeitler back along with Odell and Rondale Moore to add to the receiving core too. So it's just a true revamp of their entire team with all the people coming back from injuries. Let's see how the Ravens do. Quick pass, and that's going to be Odell back from injury, getting the first grab of the day for 10 yards. Going to the run, and nothing there. Dobbins going to get met by Hilton and I think Khalil Mack, so it's going to be a loss of 1. Dropping back to pass, Lamar rolls out, and he finds Mark Andrews going to set up with a third and short, 3rd and 2, just shy of midfield. So Ravens trying to capitalize on it first drive. We got Odell kind of lined up as a split tight end. They go play action. Lamar rolls out, and he's got his running back for the first down. So 1st and 10, Lamar already in the zone. So nice job by him. And a completion gets him up to the 45, 44 even, giving the extra yard. So a 2nd and 3. Going to run it, and they're going to get the first and a lot more. Dobbins all the way up to the 20 or 30-yard line. I mean, wow, I'm bad at numbers right now. 31-yard line for Dobbins as they enter scoring range kind of here. Let's see if Steelers defense can kind of knock them out of it. Tucker's got a long range though, and we don't know the wind for today, so it could be any number of things leading to it. Obviously, inside the 30, you still feel good about Tucker making it regardless of wind. But I was talking about any chance to knock him out. 2nd and 3, likely going to see a run here from Baltimore. They go to it, and that's probably enough for the first. They gave it to him. 1st and 10. And even heavier set this time. We got 2 tight ends out there now. Going up the middle, and going to get another nice 5-yard gain. 2nd and 6. Ravens kind of doing whatever they want to on this first drive, running the ball well, throwing the ball well. We've got Odell in the slot against Adoree. Blitz comes, he throws it, and that's going to be no yards on the completion to Dobbins, but does at least get a completion. 3rd and 5 in the red zone for the Ravens. See what they come up with. They go to the quick pass, and great coverage, I thought. Dangerous ball, but Mark Andrews does a good job boxing out Demario Davis, and that's going to be a 1st and goal for the Ravens. Looking to take an early lead in this one. They go to the ground, and just couldn't hold on enough. 2nd and goal. Back with the tackle. And great cutback. Not going to be enough for the touchdown, but it does get him positive yards. Tevin Coleman gets 4 there. So a 3rd and goal at the 3. Lamar to run, and he's got it. TJ just wasn't interested in jumping up on him. So Lamar Jackson rushing touchdown to kick us off. So good job by Baltimore on this one. And so we begin. Let's see how Pittsburgh responds. All right, let's see what good old McCorkle Jones can do. 4,600 yards, just under a 2-to-1 touchdown reception ratio, which pretty standard in the ACFL. Um, had a pretty good season in his sophomore campaign. Looking to continue that into the playoffs. Last year he was really good in the playoffs. Him and Thielen together. So they're looking to keep that trend going. Mac Jones gonna run it first. Goddamn. Just fucking go down, man. There's no reason for you to ever keep the ball. And J.J. Watt in potentially his final game. If they lose, this is it for J.J. Makes a big play to stop him there. 3rd and 6. And there's a completion. Thielen's going to get the first down, but not much more. Great tackle as J.J. Watt down with an injury. So we'll have to see what that injury is. He has missed some time throughout this season and missed some individual games with the injuries that happened in them. So been a bit of a battle for him as well, just like it was in real life, as we get grabbed to Javonte 6 yards. And that's a quick out. That's going to be a broken tackle too. Deontay Johnson just about broke that to the house, but steps out, 15 yards. Steelers now into Ravens territory, taking their first snaps. Going to the air again, and just thrown out of bounds. Going to the ground. Javonte finds a crease, gets 4. 3rd and 5. And wheel route. Got Javonte Williams up to the 14-yard line. Just got behind the linebackers. Or actually, I think there was a corner over there even. So a good route. Sets them up with a 1st and 10 at the 14 in their first red zone trip. Steelers have not been a very good red zone offense at getting touchdowns in this area. So they have got to clean it up and find a way into the end zone. That's probably their key to success for the day even. Is just they got to take advantage and score touchdowns in this area. Not a good start to that as 2 unsuccessful run plays sets them up with a 3rd and 7. They set up the screen. Good blocking. Javonte just doesn't follow the rest of it, though. So a 4th and 3, likely going to settle for 3. And they do. It made me nervous because, I mean, last time we played the Ravens, we tried a bunch of fakes with Rosen. Didn't go so well. So I wasn't exactly confident, but we do take the 3, 7-3 game. Now Baltimore a chance to try to push their lead to 2 scores with another touchdown. And I think there may just not be wind. Both kicks I think kickoffs went about the same distance, so kind of hard to judge. Usually field goals are a better indicator of wind than kickoffs, but if the kickoffs are like really short, then be yeah, okay. The Ravens have had a lot of. That's been a great security blanket for them. Is just that Mark Andrews underneath. They've completed it like 3 or 4 times already today. It's been getting them consistent yards. That's gonna be a completion to Olave to the 30. So that's gonna be the last play of the first quarter. Ravens, have had. Their offense especially has been in complete control of the game. They held it for a majority of the first quarter. They're moving the ball again with that first down. We'll see if the Steelers defense could do anything to break up their flow a bit. Going to the ground, and Dobbins gets the edge and gets to the 40. So a nice run from Dobbins. Said running the ball, completing these short underneath passes, they've been really good today. They go to the outside zone, and that's going to be tackled short. Big play. 3rd and inches coming up. Demario Davis gets that tackle right at the line to gain. And again, Dobbins gets it. Snuck through the hole and found another 5 yards afterwards even. A great run from Dobbins. Has been an excellent day for him already. And another 4-yard carry. This time carrying a defender with him for most of those yards. Going to go to the ground again, and again he's going to have a crease. And fumbles it. A big hit by Minkah Fitzpatrick, and he recovers it too. So after another great run and an awesome drive by Dobbins, he just takes a huge shot from Minkah, who was really close to recovering it and taking it to the house. TJ Watt kind of jumped in there and made it go a little awry. But negates a first down run, and now sets the Steelers up in Ravens territory again. Javonte breaks the Bobby Wagner tackle and gets to the 40-yard line. Going to run it again, and Javonte again is going to get another 5 or 6 yards. Great blocking these last 2 plays by the Steelers offensive line. Still no JJ in this one. They go to the ground again. Patrick Queen, I think, was in there to make the play. They had him walked up on the line. He did a good job to shed the block. 2nd and 8. And they go Thielen, gets the first, and Marquise Blair is the one to stop them from getting a huge play because one more broken tackle, and he's got a blocker in front of him and no one else. They go to the quick pass. They go to the end zone. Thielen, touchdown. They do the fake screen. Didn't really work because they were in man, but just a tough matchup against one of the best receivers in the ACFL. Jimmy Ward, I mean, pretty good coverage. He was pretty close to knocking that thing out. But the Steelers retake the lead thanks to the Minkah Fitzpatrick forced fumble and recovery by himself. And now let's see if Baltimore can answer. I mean, I think if Baltimore, your offense, the fumble is just tough. It's poor luck. Things happen. You kind of took a big hit in a spot you weren't expecting. Maybe don't run it so often in a row. Even if it was working, maybe or mix up the backs, something like that. That's, I think, maybe the adjustment they can make going into this drive. So Dalvin, I mean, it's very similar to McCaffrey, except for he's had a great day before the fumble, where McCaffrey was kind of just but their offense is really good around him. Let's see if the Ravens can bounce back. And they get Andrews, going to get him started with 5 yards. I mean, Andrews for 5 yards has been basically the story of the day. 10 completions, averaging 6.2. It's not been terribly explosive, but if you're completing every pass, I mean, you don't need to be explosive. As there's another completion. A lot of tight contested grabs, too. These guys, I mean, these receivers have come to play today, born with a tough catch there. And pressure from Mack, and that's going to be a sack. Khalil Mack, the Defensive Player of the Year, in my opinion. We still haven't voted on that yet, but makes a huge play to get the sack, force them into a 2nd and 18 situation. So they may need to start opening up the passing game a little bit if they're going to try to pick up these yardages. But Mack's going to get another sack. This one, Lamar ran right into it, but a 3rd and 25. Now let's see. They got the weapons for sure. Odell at the top. Kendrick Bourne's made some big plays for them. They've got the weapons to do it. They just need to pick up this first down. And Mack pressure again. And they don't get a completion. So the defense, led by Khalil Mack, forces the first incompletion after 2 straight sacks and now punting from their own end zone. I think it's who is their punter? I forgot already. Anyway. Steelers are going to get the ball at the 50-yard line. So this is going to be their 2nd straight drive starting in basically Ravens territory, though this one is not quite. So I think the stat wouldn't work because it's like the 49.5-yard line, but whatever. Great field position for the Steelers on a 2nd straight drive. It's Javonte. Ooh, that's a big-time hit from Bobby Wagner. But he's able to hold on. So 2nd and 4. And a quick out. And Thielen does a good job to make sure it's not picked off, but it does lose a yard as a result of that. So a 3rd and 5, bunch to the left. They send the blitz. It's picked up. And a drop. So the Ravens have caught all of those. The Steelers just dropped a big one. Let's see what they do. They're going for the punt. Sam Barton going to be tasked to try to pin them deep. and he cannot. So the Ravens are going to take over at the 20-yard line. So a missed opportunity from the Steelers offense to try to take command of this game. Let's see how the Ravens respond to the fumble and then the drive that didn't go as planned with the sacks. They're going to go empty, looking to just try to get some quick hitters, get it out before Matt gets to him. And he does get rid of it, and that's a great crowd. I'm telling you, these contested catches the Ravens have been having, they really came to play today. These receivers, that's Olave with a tough grab. I think everybody except for Odell has a tough catch today, and Odell just hasn't been targeted outside of that first one, which honestly wasn't even an easy catch to begin with. So all of them have made these tough grabs to keep the chains moving. So let's see if they continue to do that for them. Lamar to throw, and that's going to be an easy one for Bourne. Gets it out to the 42-yard line. Oh, they are going to not give him the forward progress. So a 3rd and 1, likely going to Dobbins here. They play action it. Steelers were ready for it, but we'll see if they... Oh, wow, they weren't ready for Kendrick Bourne. Great play. Kendrick Bourne gets the touchdown. I told you he's been a big play guy on that 3rd down. He comes through with a big-time route. Beats Casey Hayward over the top, and Steelers just had no answer for it. So the Ravens have retaken the lead, now looking to make it a 4-point game. Steelers about 2:15 and 3 timeouts to try to answer that. And they will start at the 20. So just like the Ravens drive, they also start at the 20. Mac Jones going to have to recover from kind of that last drive. And there's a completion. Jameson Williams, his first playoff grab, is going to go for 20. So 2-minute warning, 3 timeouts, and just shy of midfield. You got time. Goes deep, and there's gonna be a flag. Are they calling a illegal touching? Okay, and he was not even in bounds. I'm not sure why he'd call it. He didn't catch it either. So I'm not really sure why you'd call the illegal touching. I thought they were trying to say that there was a like a pass interference or something ridiculous. So the penalty was about as much as you could expect, I guess. He was already out of bounds. He caught it out of bounds. I don't know what they thought changed, but Javonte on the screen, and he's going to get tackled after a gain of 5. So a 3rd and 5, minute 35 to go for Pittsburgh. And they get the completion. Deontay Johnson, the great snag to get him to the 39, and we'll probably be about a minute left when they snap the next one. A minute 10 even. Nice. And Mac, the completion to Evan Ingram for 5 yards. Only his 3rd game in a Steelers uniform. He got injured in his debut, and then came back for Week 18. And that's great coverage. Jimmy Ward, a little behind Evan Ingram there as Ward breaks it up. So a 3rd and 5, minute to go. And Jameson Williams gets the grab down to the 22 and a timeout by Pittsburgh, just outside the red zone. And that's going to be Javonte Williams going to get them to the 16. So 2nd red zone trip of the day for Pittsburgh, looking for more than 3, which is what they had to settle for last time. And there's Javonte going to get them down to the 5. And Thielen down with an injury. That could be a huge one, as he is a big part of what they do on offense. So hopefully for the rest of the series. Golly. 43 seconds left, 1st and goal. Play what kind of open for you a little bit here. as Javonte Williams. They haven't been able to cover him out of the backfield today. Hasn't been a huge threat all season. Probably has less than 100 yards receiving on the year. But today it's been his coming out party. With this drive especially, getting like what 3 grabs out of the backfield. So I bet he's got like 40 yards and a touchdown or something. I don't know. But it's been good for him, and he got the touchdown there, probably his first receiving touchdown of his career for us. But hey, good time. No better time than the present, right? Steelers take back these lead 17-14. Ravens, though, I mean, they showed the big play to Kendrick Bourne. They're going to have time. They're going to have decent field position to the 29. That's a good return. 35 seconds left and 3 timeouts. They are basically going to have the 4 plays. Let's see how close they can get it. I mean, 10 yards play is Tucker can potentially make a kick. So we'll see what they do. And Max can get pressure and intercepted. Oh no, Minkah Fitzpatrick with the pick, but that's a mistake you can't make. You give the Steelers the ball back on the 30, chance to try to take a 2-possession lead. If not, at least force it to 6 points. The Steelers also get the ball back at half. So Mac forcing the pressure and Minkah, the big time play. That's a mistake that well, that's a ball for sure that I'm sure he'd like back. Thielen is back in for Pittsburgh. I said back like 20 times there. And touchdown to Thielen as soon as I mention him. So the interception by Lamar immediately turns into a Pittsburgh touchdown. Thielen back in, thankfully. Praise the Madden gods. So now it was. I mean, the Ravens were really close to walking into the half with the lead. Now, I mean, barring turning it around, making some big plays, or walking into the half with a 10-point deficit. We'll see. I mean, the return could go pretty well. I like the returner, I think. He had a good return last time, too. But he's going to get it out to the 21. Directional kick does his job that time. So, yeah, it's Duvernay. I don't like Duvernay, actually, but that is who it is. So, 21-yard line. You still have 3 timeouts, but going to need some big, big plays. It's pressure. And that's the big play right there. Is that Odell with the grab? So that's what you get him for. Odell Beckham makes a huge catch, gets him to the 48. Another 15 yards, and you think about a good field goal chance as they get Olave. Oh no! I bet they're gonna want those 3 seconds back. They're gonna take the field goal. A 60. Oh, Tucker, not again. Please, not Tucker again. Another 64-yard attempt. He's got it. Oh, he doesn't got it. Oh my god. Oh Lord. Let's see if the Steelers attempt another long one too. Just right back. Just attempt a 60 fucking yarder. They do. Boswell, the 63-yarder, right back at him with a second left. Oh, it looks good. That's off. Oh. Both teams tried their hand at a 60-plus yard field goal. Both miss. The wind, so we do know how far the wind is because of the field goal now. There is probably about a 5-mile-an-hour wind at Boswell's back because I know Tucker's got a better leg than him. Tucker landed his in the end zone. Boswell could have made his. It would have been very close, but could have made it. So I'm going to go with there about a 5-mile-an-hour wind. Probably reasonably different. So Tucker's range going back that way, the other way, is probably 65 yards as we start talking about end of game scenarios. Actually, they won't get that end of game scenario. Kicking this way is probably about 65 yards. So for this quarter, he's got some good range he could use. As Pacheco going to take him to 24. So we'll see how they can maybe get some extra points because of that. Going this way for the Steelers, obviously going to be a little bit less so. Probably 55, 58-yard long for Boswell. Evan Ingram the grab. And Zadarius Smith down with an injury. He just got back too. But we still have not seen J.J. Watt return for the Ravens, so that may be the end of the day for him. Usually the half would be the next point you'd see these guys come in. We'll keep an eye out for him. Certainly want him to be playing and in his final season here. But up to the 40, I did like. If he would have had a good game too, I wouldn't have been mad at him. I'd cheered every sack he had. But he ended in a game against his brothers. It's kind of poetic. But still hasn't returned. Just all the injuries have been piling up for his career, and especially here in the ACFL. Mac Jones missing the wide open Thielen. But we still got a football game. I'll stop reminiscing about J.J. Watt. Steelers looking to drive. Thielen the grab. Gets them to about the 50, just shy. So a 3rd and 1 for Pittsburgh. They're going pistol set. This is fun. I like the matchup in the box. Let's see what they do. 6 versus 5. They throw it. And a completion to Thielen. So 1st and 10 Pittsburgh at the 46. Jimmy Ward in coverage. I mean Jimmy Ward is probably their best option to cover Thielen in the slot like that, but it's been a tough one. Mack goes deep, but it's short, and nobody could get their hands on it. He's going into double coverage, so I don't love the decision anyway. But it falls at the turf. 2nd and 10. Good pressure by Baltimore to force the errant throw. 3rd and 8. Got to follow the Raymond block there. It's a good one. Just got to follow it. But this is outside of the range. I just hope they don't try it from this one. Feel pretty confident that Boswell can't get it there. And out of bounds. Looks like he maybe had a lane to throw it to him. They do try the 61-yarder. So that's the ACFL playoff staple here. 61-yard attempt from Boswell. Oh, it looks good. Oh, he got it. Holy shit. Maybe there isn't wind. I cannot believe it. Oh, man. That thing was good from 64. Tucker just missed it. What? Oh, man. I didn't even want him to kick it. That kick did go further than his one the other way. I don't know. Maybe it is further that way. He's got a fucking boot on him today, I guess. I don't know. I can't believe that. All right. They run it. And just a nice job by Dobbins. Good piece of running. Get 4 yards. 2nd and 6. It's a 13-point game for Baltimore. Just want to chip away at it. As Olave is going to get him close to the first. Kind of a little shaky getting out of the cut, but it works. Lamar, I think, back in the zone. And it's Odell. Great acceleration out of the cut, too. Odell Beckham. He's a real playmaker. If they can get him the ball a lot in the second half, they could have themselves a very good half. Feeding him, I think, would be my top priority coming out of the half for them. And getting back to the run game, that was really good for them. The fumble kind of scared him away a little. Rolls out and has to throw it away. Looking like they were trying to take a shot there. But Micah Fitzpatrick probably dissuaded him from that. 2nd and 10. Great chip on Watt and a catch by Andrews. He's going to only get a couple yards because he got pushed back, and the game's really weird about the pushback and going forward. But 3rd and 6. They're setting up the screen, and Dobbins somehow grabs it, but because he somehow held on to it, they do lose 7 yards or whatever. So Dobbins is down to negative receiving yards. They're going to have to punt. Oh, I thought maybe you were going to get it blocked. But that's a good one. It's going to stop inside the 5. Down to the 2. So is Zeitler down with injury? My lord, everyone who just came back is going down for them. Fuck. Brutal. On a punt, too. I hate that. I hate it on special teams when a guy gets injured. Like, what the fuck are we doing here? Hopefully it's just not serious, but like seriously, it's crazy. Wow, that's a hell of a hit. Bobby Wagner, naturally. So he blows that run up. That was an easy 4-yard run, but Bobby Wagner says no. 2nd and 9. Go to the ground again. As Yannick Ngakoue says no. Only 4 yards there at 3rd and 6. They do have at least a little bit of cushion. They're going to try to empty it out and try to pick up the first. And Mac Jones to Deontay Johnson falls forward to the 25. So there's the real cushion for Pittsburgh. Now they get to kind of run their offense. And, oh, man, I thought Blair was going to make a great jump on that ball, but Ingram is able to secure it. Blair got a good beat on it, but yeah, thanks for not keeping it. As Za'Darius is back in, so that's good. Still no J.J. Watt, but Za'Darius is back for the Ravens. And Thielen. Just too soft coverage as Bobby Wagner is getting in some real shots today. He's been playing really well. He's gonna force a fumble. He's gotten some big hits in. I'd be surprised if none of those result in a fumble. as Mac Jones, please go down, please go down, please go down. Well, he didn't fumble it. 7 yards. Nice job, Mac. I'm proud of you. Don't do it again. You won your one run for the day. 2nd 3. Great pressure at the middle. That's Ed Oliver. Oh, JJ. Is that JJ back in? Wait, 99. Is he not 99 in this? Anyway, Ed Oliver, I know, was one of the defense tackles. He got some pressure in there. But anyway, Javonte goes off guard, and he just keeps slipping off these tackles up to 67 yards on the day, and a 1st and 10 for Pittsburgh. And a run up the middle. Wow. Oh my gosh. Great patience. As a block in the back by Thielen's not called. 11 yards from Javonte on a dead play. So good job. Great piece of running right there. As now we got a 1st and goal, or 1st and 10 at 16, our 3rd red zone trip of the day. And we got a completion, a flag. So we'll see what the flag is. But he's down to like the 1 or the goal line. We'll see what it is. Pass interference on the defense, so we'll see what. Well, we're not going to accept it. So on the 1, Molden going to get day. Just kind of caught him at the top of the route. Kind of tough. We got Connor in for Pittsburgh, trying to punch it in. They go to the pass. And gets it out of the back of the end zone. So ill-advised decision to pass there. And now we're going to go to the gun. If we're going to pass, now's the time. But it looks like we're going to try to run it. And Javonte is going to get the touchdown. So Pittsburgh has now opened up a big lead. Obviously, I mean, you can't point to anything else except for the interception with 30 seconds left by Lamar as the big turning point of this game. As they go for 2, Mac Jones is going to try to run for it, maybe? No, he sets up. And now he's going to run for it, and he gets it. Mac Jones answers the Lamar rushing touchdown with a 2-point conversion in the same manner. All right. But a 21-point game now. Baltimore, they got the big play to Bourne. They need something on that level to try to spark their team here. They're going to start at 21. Let's see what Lamar and company can come up with. Still in the zone. Steelers are showing blitz. Let's see what they do. And TJ Watt's going to get that tackle for loss. Haven't heard a lot from him this season. Injuries have slowed him down. Khalil Mack's picked up a lot of that slack for him. But back for the playoff run, hoping big things from him. Haven't heard a lot from him today either, but obviously a very difficult matchup against Ronnie Stanley. So, but a completion on 2nd down, 3rd and 3. And that's going to be the end of the quarter. So, flipping the fields. You know, the wind is maybe a thing. I don't even know anymore. But let's see what Baltimore can come up with to try to make this 21-point 4th quarter comeback. They're setting up the screen to start it off, and just nothing there. Adoree Jackson gets in to break it up. Are they going to punt? They're going to go for it. Yeah, you got to. They're going to the ground, and Mac stops him short. It's tough, but that probably effectively seals the game, barring miscues by Pittsburgh. And Javonte going to get tackled for no yards. Going to run it again. And Za'Darius is going to meet him at the line of scrimmage again. So 2 carries, 0 yards. Ravens defense sitting on the run, and they've been effective at stopping it right on this drive. And we got probably a passing situation for Pittsburgh. We go back to the ground, and they're going to get a couple. So just setting up the field goal. You know, playing the ball control football, I guess. They're not milking the clock at all, but that's what they're doing. We'll see if Boswell can drill this one from 43 yards. And he can, so a 24-point lead now for Pittsburgh. Still 3 touchdowns, but now they're also going to have to convert 3 2-point conversions. If there's any team that I like a 2-point conversion of, it's the Ravens. I think that they were one of the better 2-point conversion teams in the league. Like 7 for 9 or something. Is that them, or is that 4th down? They were 7 for 9 on one of those 2 things, and like I'm picturing the stats thing. But I mean, Lamar is the reason why. If I like any team to be able to pick up 2-point conversions, it's Lamar because you can kind of call a pass. If it's not there, he can run for it. And he's just, it's tough to react to him in time. He's too fast. As there's Olave, another grab. 2nd 3. And they go for the screen. They got it well set up this time. Dobbins going to get brought down. Johnson going to get the tackle. 1st down for Baltimore. And Mack going to get pressure again. Man, if TJ could just get off those blocks, he'd get some easy cleanup sacks. But Ronnie Stanley is pitching an awesome day at left tackle. Unfortunately, Darisaw on the other side is not quite pitching the same sort of game. But this time, going back to the well too many times, Kareem Jackson with the tackle for loss. Dobbins back to barely any receiving yards. 3rd and 14. And they're going to try to go draw, and he breaks the TJ Watt tackle. So they've set themselves up to a 4th and manageable. 4th and 3. Right at the 42-yard line, just shy of midfield. Goes deep. And, the first contested ball that wasn't caught by Mark Andrews happens on a 4th and 3 deep ball. So that is any final nail in the coffin they needed. It was kind of an unprecedented run of, these contested grabs that they got. But it's obviously, that's something they've been good at in every game I can think of. So I'm not necessarily surprised they were pulling all these in. It just was an unprecedented rate of them doing it. But now 2nd and 6. Going up the middle. And Javonte going to get down to the 34. Approaching 100 yards on the day. Not sure if we'll get it. Doesn't matter. Going for the quick pass. And Thielen going to get a 1st down. Try to keep milking the clock. Thielen up to 97 yards receiving on that day. Maybe we'll get 100 again. Doesn't matter. The playoffs, the nice thing is the stats don't matter at all. For the season, you want your guys to hit some milestones. Oh my, Kelsey killed a guy. There's the defensive back, so kind of tough for him. But Javonte does clear the 100-yard mark. And they're back in the red zone. Probably a lot of running game, I imagine. They're going to throw it right away. Why not? And they're going to get Jamison Williams, going to get to the 6-yard line, and Jason Kelsey down with an injury after the pancake block. Now the Steelers turn to Mason Cole. So that could be a big-time loss and basically garbage time. And give him a yard. 3rd and 1. And they go to Thielen, and he's going to get over 100 yards and another touchdown on the day. It is now a 31-point game. Steelers lead 45-14. We'll see if the Ravens got one last push in them, just like the Panthers did to get 20 points. All right, did they only get 13? Shit, I can't remember now. No, they had 113. 17? No, I think they got to 20. I don't know. Either way, let's see if the Ravens can answer. And almost intercepted, threw it basically right to Deion Jones. And Dobbins gonna get 5, so a 3rd and 5 coming up. Lamar, that's a 1st down to Bourne. Oh, I thought he was gonna break that. A great tackle by Casey Hayward. And they set up the screen. Dobbins again. This time he can't get even back to line of scrimmage. and a completion gets them about 6 yards. So 3rd and 4. They're certainly going to go 4 downs. 2:20 to go in the game. And that is a completion. Andrews bananas the route off to get around the defender. 2-minute warning hit. New set of downs for the Ravens off the great run from Andrews. They set up a screen again. And this time, going to get a couple. I mean, I just feel like at this point the screen game has just been too used up. Baltimore probably want to move to a different strategy. Rolls out, has to throw it away. No one open downfield. That's more of a coverage pressure, but still going to get Khalil Mack another pressure on the season. Again, they don't count for stats, but and oh man, if he steps and delivers into that, he's got Bourne for the first down. They're going to even punt, so they're waving the white flag. But yeah, he had Bourne for the first down and maybe even a touchdown if he just steps into it. But Pittsburgh very likely going to just kneel it out, or maybe run it out because they don't know for sure. 3 touchdowns to them, my lord. But they don't know for sure that they're not going to call timeouts. That's kind of the game goes. So a minute 19, 2 more plays for Pittsburgh. And 40 seconds left. One more run play for Pittsburgh to get out of here, move on to the next round. And Mac's going to be the one to do it. Go down, buddy. All right. So that's the game. Unless they snap it again, we'll hold on, see if they do. They do not. So Pittsburgh's going to win this one 45-14. Baltimore, I mean, going to have a big offseason ahead of them, for sure. They made a lot of moves to get here. It just didn't end the way they had hoped. They did improve from last year. They made the playoffs, but certainly not the outcome I think I expected for them or they expected. It's a team that I thought was going to win the AFC North. And then I also thought at one point it was like one of the best teams in the league. Just kind of fell off that pace. They're going to have to figure out how to unlock Lamar more consistently. As of right now, haven't quite cracked the code into getting Lamar to be an MVP all the time, but they've gotten it sometimes. So they're right on the edge. They just got to figure it out. So excited for what Baltimore does this offseason and kind of going to next year. Mac Jones, I mean, this is the game I need from him. If I can get this game every single fucking time, I will take it. Just a clean game. 80% completion percentage, 4 touchdowns, no picks, 8.3 average. Just a clean game where you don't fuck up too bad. Lamar only 1 interception, so it's not exactly like his disaster. It's just after the interception, things I mean, really, that fumble, much like the Panthers fumble, honestly, was like the only thing. Like, up until that point, it had gone well for them, to a lesser degree than the Panthers game, but probably in a more sustainable way. And then the fumble happened, and it just turned on a dime, and they never got any momentum back. Javonte and Dobbins 4.5 per carry, but Javonte avoids the fumble, and Dobbins does fumble. Lamar's only carry going for a touchdown. Probably could utilize the legs a little more for Lamar, but still ran the ball well. Thielen with 102, 3 touchdowns. Javonte 8 for 69 yards and a touchdown. I mean, that's got to be like his total on the season, right? No more grabs, and he's probably got 20 just because of all the dump off stuff. But 69 yards and a touchdown, I can't imagine he's much more than that. But I mean, just when it's open, you got to take it, I guess. Dobbins had 8 grabs too, but all of them on the screens and none of them worked. So tough for him. Kendrick Bourne had that long touchdown, was the 58-yard touchdown for his 85 total yards. And then Odell, 3 for 50. Just got to get him up in this range. You get 8 to 7 grabs, and you're feeling pretty good about your offensive output. So they still haven't figured out how to unlock him either. So keep going. Kelsey's still injured. We'll see what that is. Darisaw does allow 2 sacks. Queen, Davis, Blair, over 10 tackles. Mack and Hilton with 2 tackle for losses. And the group here at 1. The only sacks of the day by Khalil Mack had 2 of them on the same drive. And then pressures obviously led to the interception by Minka. Minka had a big day, with a deflection and interception. Only 4 tackles actually, but forced the fumble on one of them. It recovers it himself. So 2 forced turnovers, the only 2 forced turnovers of the day by Minkah Fitzpatrick. And so that's just what you gotta do. Just being a playmaker. Boswell hits the 60, count 'em, or 61 yarder. Count 'em, 61 yarder. Big time stuff. Tucker's only missed from 64 yards. I mean, hard to blame you for missing 60+ yard kicks, right? Andy Lee was the punter. I couldn't remember. Had a nice day. Sam Martin only had the 1 punt, but was a touchback. So, you know, it is what it is. Did I go pretty good average? Sure. All right. Well, Pittsburgh going to be watching our games the rest of the way to see who they get to play next. It is going to be either, because we kind of got a little bit of difference here, it's going to be either the Jaguars, if they can pull off the win against the Broncos, in the next game coming up, because I will do that game next, just because that's the furthest away from 4 to 5, as even rankings as you go. So we'll see that game first, even though realistically that's an evener matchup probably than how Buffalo was this year. So it's either that, or if the Broncos win, they will face the Chiefs, and the Steelers will play the winner of the Bills-Chargers game. So that's who we're up against on that next. Great season by Baltimore. We'll look forward to seeing them here again next year, I'm sure. And catch you guys in the Broncos-Jaguars game.